When the word someone uses to describe you completely changes, it means something. And what just went down with Nic and Olandria has the entire internet spiraling. We're talking about Nicolandria, the Love Island USA Season 7 couple that came in second place but somehow ended up dominating everything after. Nic just dropped terminology at Greekfest that hits completely different. And if you understand relationship language, you know this isn't small. Meanwhile, Taylor's old takes are aging like spoiled milk. Ace had everyone talking during the Villa days. The whole Sierra situation still has people confused. And critics can't stop complaining even though they're securing bags left and right. From that dating show Villa on Peacock to national campaigns, from Olandria's sold-out brand deals to what's clearly coming next, this Love Island Season 7 story has more layers than anyone expected. What I'm about to break down might just shock you. Real quick though, smash that subscribe button. I know, everyone begs for subs, but here's the thing. I'm basically your personal Love Island detective at this point. You'll catch every Nicolandria update, all the messy reunion tea, and when that inevitable engagement drops, you'll hear it here first. Plus, it's free. Like, why wouldn't you?
Let's rewind to a few days back when the internet collectively lost it over what should have been just another event. Greekfest was supposed to be standard, Nic doing his DJ thing, some fans show up, take photos, normal reality TV appearance energy. But then Olandria decided to pull up a whole day early, completely blindsiding everyone. And what followed was basically 48 hours of pure chaos that fans immediately started calling Olafest instead. The energy shifted completely from what anyone anticipated. Fans weren't casually showing up either. They came prepared with gifts, handwritten letters, and that authentic love you rarely see for people who were on a dating show just months ago. This wasn't performative meet-and-greet energy, where someone's clearly thinking about their next appointment. Olandria spent actual hours meeting every single person who wanted a moment. She was reading every note people handed her, genuinely connecting, and you could see it hitting her emotionally. The authenticity was impossible to miss, and fans immediately picked up on it, which only intensified their support.
But what elevated the entire weekend was watching Nic and Olandria operate as a complete unit. They were accepting couple gifts, taking photos together, and the way Nic was looking at her during every interaction said everything without words. This man was radiating pride, not just proud to have her there, but proud of who she is as a person, proud of what they've built, proud to show her off to his community. They hung at a football game, dropped back-to-back Snapchat content that had fans screaming, and basically delivered everything people craved since Love Island ended. The chemistry was jumping through screens, and anyone questioning whether this relationship had real-world legs got their answer in the most beautiful way. But here's the detail nobody's really discussing, and it's what has me convinced this operates on a different level than people realize. During one of those candid Greekfest moments, Nic introduced Olandria to someone, and the word he used wasn't girlfriend. He said partner. Now, you might be thinking, okay, what's the big deal? It's just semantics, right? Absolutely not. There's a massive difference between calling someone your girlfriend and calling them your partner. And anyone in a legitimately serious relationship understands exactly what I'm talking about.
Girlfriend is sweet. It's fun. It's honeymoon phase vibes. It's what you say when you're dating someone and figuring out if this has potential. But partner? Partner operates on an entirely different frequency. Partner means you're constructing something meant to last. Partner means you see this person in your actual future, not just as a possibility. Partner means this person is your equal in every way. Someone you're planning to navigate life with, not just someone you're casually seeing. Think about it this way. When you introduce someone as your girlfriend, you're essentially saying, this is who I'm romantically involved with right now. When you introduce someone as your partner, you're saying, this is who I'm building my entire life around. That's not subtle. That's a fundamental transformation in how you view where this is going. And for Nic to make that shift just months after leaving the villa shows you that whatever he felt for Olandria on Love Island has only intensified and become more solid in the real world. This isn't some showmance that fizzled when cameras stopped rolling. This is legitimate, and his language choice proves it. Remember, this is the same guy who literally had to ask someone else the day before she left what it meant to be closed off. We're diving deep into that whole Sierra situation later, but the contrast between how he approached that connection versus how he's moving with Olandria tells you absolutely everything.
Hold on, though, because it gets better, and this is where you really start seeing people's true colors. Ever since Nicolandria walked out of Love Island USA Season 7, they've been absolutely demolishing it with brand partnerships and major deals. We're talking about success that most winners don't even achieve, and they finished second place. Let that sink in. They didn't win, didn't collect that prize money, but they're operating like they hit the lottery anyway. And honestly, maybe they did in a different way. Olandria has been locking down individual deals left and right, and we're not talking small local businesses. NYX Cosmetics brought her on as a brand ambassador, and when she promoted what fans called the Nicolandria lip combo, items literally sold out within hours. Not days, hours. That's the influence brands dream about. Then you've got Vaseline tapping her for campaigns, Microsoft bringing her in for promotions, Aveeno making her a spokesperson. These aren't minor companies testing waters. These are massive corporations recognizing her value and ability to actually move products. But we're nowhere near done. As a couple, Nic and Olandria have been booking major campaigns together that other Love Island couples would eliminate each other for. Sweetgreen literally created an entire salad called Ranchy Batty, specifically inspired by them. DoorDash got them for advertisements running nationally. These aren't random sponsored Instagram posts that disappear after 24 hours. These are legitimate national campaigns with companies that have massive marketing budgets and high standards for who represents their brand.
Nick's DJ career has been exploding independently too, which is crucial because it shows he's not just riding the reality TV wave hoping it lasts. His Greekfest tours have been selling out venues, his food content is gaining serious traction, and he's constructing a legitimate career outside of just being that guy from that dating show. They're both winning individually while capitalizing on the power of being together, which is exactly how a healthy power couple should operate. You support each other's individual growth while recognizing that together you're even stronger. That's the blueprint, and they're executing it flawlessly. Quick pause. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit that button so you don't miss when I break down the engagement announcement, because trust me, it's coming. Also, I need the algorithm to think I'm important. Help a creator out. Now, before you click away, you need to hear this next part, because this is where it gets absolutely ridiculous. Despite all this success, despite them clearly thriving both individually and as a couple, despite overwhelming evidence they're doing everything right, there's a surprisingly loud group online who will not stop complaining. And what exactly are they complaining about? That Nic and Olandria do too many promotions together. Let me say that again so it can really sink in. People are genuinely upset that a couple from a dating show are doing couple promotions together. Make it make sense.
The entire premise of Love Island is forming couples. That's literally the whole concept from beginning to end. You walk in there with the explicit goal of finding love, building a connection, and hopefully leaving as a couple. They finished second place as one of the most beloved couples of the season. But somehow, people are shocked, appalled, and personally offended that brands want to book them together? The math isn't mathing, and the logic is completely absent. What makes this even more irritating is people acting like Olandria doesn't have her own distinct brand and identity outside of being with Nic. Have you been paying any attention? Did you completely miss where she's been featured in multiple high-fashion magazines? Where she's got major individual deals with NYX, Vaseline, Microsoft, and Aveeno that have nothing to do with Nic? Where she's carving out her own lane while also being part of a successful couple? This narrative that she's somehow riding coattails or doesn't have her own thing going is not only factually incorrect, it's genuinely disrespectful to everything she's accomplished. She walked into Love Island as her own person with her own following, her own style, and her own goals. And she left exactly the same way, just with more opportunities and a partner who actually supports her growth instead of feeling threatened by it.
The audacity of people trying to diminish her individual success just because she's also thriving as part of a couple reveals more about them than it does about her.
And let's be completely real about what's actually happening. Because there's a massive elephant in the room people keep dancing around. A significant portion of the hate directed at Nicolandria, and specifically at Olandria for being with Nic, has absolutely nothing to do with their actual relationship dynamics and everything to do with the fact that it's an interracial relationship. The way certain people talk about them, the energy they bring to every conversation, the constant nitpicking over things that wouldn't even register if they were both the same race, it's not normal fan criticism. It's something else entirely. There's this bizarre undercurrent of people who claim in their bios that they support black women, that they want black women to be loved and cherished, but then get viscerally upset when a black woman actually is loved and cherished by someone who happens to not be black. The mental gymnastics required to hold both positions simultaneously are exhausting to witness. You can't say you want black women to experience love and happiness and then get mad when they do, just because the person providing that love doesn't meet your specific racial criteria. Love is love, and Olandria deserves to be happy with whoever makes her happy. Her happiness shouldn't require committee approval based on her partner's ethnicity.
This next point needs to be said even louder. We're almost at the end of October right now. The show wrapped in July. The reunion happened in August. It's been months, and people are still actively wasting energy hating on this couple. At this point, you just have to be deeply miserable in your own life. There's literally no other explanation. Happy people don't spend their time tearing down others who are clearly thriving. If you're commenting negatively on every single post they make, inventing narratives out of thin air, and actively rooting for their relationship to fail, that says infinitely more about your own unhappiness than their relationship. Maybe instead of obsessing over what Nic and Olandria are doing, examine why you're so emotionally invested in their downfall. Get a hobby. Find your own happiness, touch some grass, read a book, do literally anything productive besides spreading negativity about two people who don't even know you exist. Here's where the story really comes together, and this genuinely separates casual dating from serious relationship energy. Just weeks after leaving the villa and adjusting to real-world life, Olandria had a conversation with Nic where she made it crystal clear that she's not someone who dates just to see what happens. She told him directly that she dates to marry, not to waste time, not to play games, not to collect experiences. She dates with the explicit intention of finding her life partner, the person she's going to build a family with.
That's an incredibly heavy conversation to have so early, especially coming off a reality show where everything is heightened and emotions are amplified beyond normal levels. Most guys would hear that declaration and immediately start panicking, looking for the nearest exit. But Nic didn't run. He didn't get scared. He leaned all the way in. He embraced what she was saying and showed her through his actions that he was completely on the same page about building something real and permanent. And the evidence is everywhere if you're paying attention. Nic recently mentioned he's not looking for a condo or apartment for his next living situation. He's looking for an actual house, a whole house with multiple bedrooms and a yard. This man just turned 24 and he's already thinking about buying property, creating a space designed for a family to grow in, not just a bachelor pad. That's not casual dating mindset. That's someone planning for a future that includes marriage, children, the whole package. Then you've got Olandria tweeting about wanting to be married and possibly have a child by the time she hits 30. She's putting her intentions out into the universe, making her goals known publicly, and Nic is matching that exact energy. They're not hiding what they want or playing it cool to seem less invested. They're both completely all in, and they're moving forward accordingly with purpose and intention.
Their entire approach has been genuinely refreshing to watch. They're not rushing into major milestones just because fans are pressuring them to get engaged immediately or move in together next week. They're traveling together, going to Disneyland, doing normal couple activities, getting to know each other outside the pressure cooker environment of the villa. But they're also clearly building towards something permanent with every choice they make. The foundation they're laying is solid, intentional, and mature beyond their years. This isn't a flash-in-the-pan romance that burns bright for 3 months and then flames out when reality sets in. This is slow-burn energy designed to last decades, not months. And anyone still doubting whether they're serious clearly hasn't been paying attention to the breadcrumbs they've consistently been dropping. But we need to talk about the elephant that was in the villa causing problems. Taylor. Taylor made some interesting comments during and after the season about Nic and Olandria's connection, specifically expressing doubts about whether there was genuine romantic chemistry or if they were more of a friendship couple coasting to the end. At the time, his perspective resonated with some viewers, because from the outside, their connection did develop differently than some of the more explosive, dramatic couples constantly fighting and making up.
They weren't having screaming matches in the middle of the night or going through constant emotional ups and downs that made for great television. Their relationship was steady, consistent, and built on genuine friendship first, before romantic elements fully developed. But Taylor's doubts have aged like milk sitting in the sun during summer, haven't they? Because everything that's happened since they left the villa has proven beyond any doubt that their connection was not only real, but potentially stronger and more durable than most couples who seemed more passionate and dramatic in the moment. The thing about relationships built on a foundation of genuine friendship is they tend to last significantly longer because they're constructed on actually liking each other as people, not just being physically attracted or caught up in intensity and excitement. Nic and Olandria genuinely enjoy spending time together. You can see it in every video they post, every photo they share, every interaction they have. They laugh together constantly. They support each other's individual goals without jealousy. They show up for each other in meaningful ways. That's not friendship couple energy, that's life partner energy operating at the highest level. And the fact that they've continued to grow closer and more deeply in love since leaving proves that what they had in the villa was completely authentic. It just manifested differently than what people expected based on previous seasons. Not every great love story starts with explosive fireworks and constant drama. Sometimes the absolute best ones start with two people who make each other laugh genuinely and want the best for each other without competition or resentment.
Speaking of villa dynamics, we absolutely cannot talk about NYX's journey without addressing the entire situation with Cierra that had everyone confused. For those who need a refresher, before NYX fully committed to Olandria, he was exploring a connection with someone else. The night before she was scheduled to leave the villa, NYX literally had to ask her what it meant to be closed off. That question alone tells you everything about where his head was with that situation. He was confused, uncertain, trying to figure out what was even happening between them. Compare that energy to how he operated with Olandria once they really connected. There was never any question, never any confusion, never any need to ask basic, fundamental questions about where they stood. From the moment they genuinely locked in together, it was clear, intentional, mutual, and solid. The contrast between those two situations is absolutely striking when you really think about it. When that other connection ended and NYX pivoted his full attention to Olandria, some people tried to paint it as him settling for the safe choice or going with the backup option because his first choice didn't work out. But that's not what happened at all. What actually happened was NYX got clarity about what he really wanted. He realized that the connection feeling confusing and complicated wasn't the right one, and the connection feeling easy and natural was exactly where he was supposed to be all along.
That's not settling. That's growth. That's maturity. That's recognizing that the person who makes you feel at peace and secure is worth infinitely more than the person who makes you feel constant chaos and confusion. And everything that's happened since that pivotal moment has completely validated his choice. He chose Olandria fully, completely, without any reservation. And she chose him in exactly the same way. That's why they're thriving and getting stronger, while several other couples from the season have already broken up. The dynamics inside that villa were incredibly complex, with personalities like Ace commenting on everything, other couples forming and breaking apart constantly, and the never-ending pressure of cameras and public opinion analyzing every word and gesture. It wasn't an easy environment to find genuine love. But Nic and Olandria somehow manage to cut through all the noise and construct something authentic and real. They didn't get caught up in manufacturing drama just for screen time. They stayed focused on each other, communicated openly and honestly, and made intentional choices about their relationship every single day. That's exactly why they came in second place, but walked away as arguably one of the strongest couples to ever come from the show. The public voted based on entertainment value and drama, but what Nic and Olandria built was pure substance. And substance always wins in the long run when cameras stop rolling and real life begins.
Now let's talk about what's coming next, because if you think they're slowing down, you haven't been paying attention to how they operate. Nic has more Greekfest tour dates coming up, and based on how the last one went with Olandria surprising everyone, you already know they're going to be absolutely packed. People are showing up in massive numbers, and the energy at these events has been electric and unlike anything most reality TV stars experience. His DJ career is legitimately taking off now, not just as a side hustle, but as a real sustainable business that could support him long-term. He's building a recognizable brand, creating a lane for himself that has absolutely nothing to do with reality TV fame. That's incredibly smart thinking. That's planning for the long term and understanding how the industry works. Because reality TV fame fades quickly and people move on to the next season. But actual skills and talent and building a real business, that lasts forever and provides stability. Olandria's trajectory is equally impressive and might even be more remarkable given how quickly it's happened. With the brand deal she's already secured and the momentum she's building across multiple platforms, we're definitely going to see more major partnerships announced very soon. She's becoming a genuinely sought-after influencer and brand ambassador, the kind of person that companies actively pursue because she brings authentic engagement and actual reach that translates to sales. Her unique style, her magnetic personality, her relatability despite being incredibly beautiful, all of it is marketable in the best way possible.
And the fact that she's managed to build all of this while also being in a high-profile public relationship shows she knows exactly how to balance both worlds. She's not letting the relationship overshadow her individual growth and identity, and she's not sacrificing the relationship to chase individual success at any cost. She's doing both simultaneously, and she's making it look effortless, even though we know it takes incredible discipline and focus. As for the relationship itself and where it's heading, engagement rumors are already swirling everywhere. Fans are analyzing every single post, every comment, every interaction, looking for clues that Nic might be ready to propose soon. And honestly, based on everything we've covered, based on the language he's using, the moves he's making, the way they both talk about their future together, it wouldn't be surprising at all if an engagement announcement came sooner rather than later, maybe even before the year ends. They're both completely on the same page about wanting marriage and starting a family. They're both deadly serious about their commitment to each other and building a life together. The only real question is timing, and even that feels like it's coming together naturally. Whether it's 6 months from now or a year from now, there's definitely a ring in Olandria's future, and everyone watching can feel it coming. The signs are everywhere.
What's genuinely beautiful about their journey is that they're doing everything their way, on their timeline, without bowing to outside pressure or fan expectations. They're not rushing to hit relationship milestones just because fans want content or because other couples from their season are moving faster. They're building their foundation properly and carefully, getting to know each other in the real world away from cameras, traveling together, meeting each other's families and important people, having crucial conversations about the future. All of that groundwork matters tremendously. All of that preparation and foundation building means that when they do take the next major step together, whether it's moving in, getting engaged, or getting married, it'll be because they're truly ready as individuals and as a couple, not because they felt pressured to perform for an audience or meet arbitrary timelines that don't make sense for them. The support they're receiving from real fans, the ones who genuinely want to see them happy and successful, has been absolutely overwhelming in the best way possible. The love they experienced at Greekfest, the excitement that erupts every time they post new content together,
the way people celebrate their wins, both individual and as a couple. It's all evidence that they've built something genuinely special that resonates with people on a deep level.
Sure, there are haters, and there will always be haters no matter what they do. That's just the reality of being in the public eye. But the love and support far outweighs the negativity by a massive margin, and that's what actually matters at the end of the day. They're building a community of supporters who see their genuine connection and authenticity and want to root for them to succeed. That kind of support system is absolutely invaluable, especially in an industry where public opinion can shift dramatically overnight. Let's circle all the way back to where we started this entire conversation, with that one single word that genuinely changes everything: partner. Nic calling Olandria his partner wasn't just a casual slip of the tongue or an accidental word choice. It was intentional, meaningful, and telling about exactly how he sees her and how he envisions their future together. She's not just the girl he's dating from that show he was on over the summer. She's his partner in life, his equal, the person he's actively choosing to build with every single day moving forward. That's the kind of love that actually lasts long term. That's the kind of relationship that survives the difficult transition from reality TV to real life, when cameras stop rolling and producers go home. That's the foundation of something permanent and unshakable. Think about your own life for just a second. Think about relationships you've personally witnessed that actually worked long-term and stood the test of time. They're built on genuine partnership, on mutual respect, on both people being equally invested in each other's growth and happiness without keeping score. That's exactly what Nic and Olandria have together. They're not performing for cameras anymore, trying to get screen time. They're living real life together. And they're choosing each other over and over again with every decision they make.
Every brand deal they accept together, every event they attend side by side, every quiet, private moment they share away from the public eye. It all reinforces that fundamental choice. They're proving that reality TV love can absolutely be real and lasting, that connections formed in artificial, high-pressure environments can successfully translate to the real world, and that coming in second place doesn't mean you lost anything important. Sometimes second place is exactly where you need to be to win at everything that matters. Before we wrap this all up, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm genuinely concerned about your decision-making skills. Just kidding, but seriously, hit that button. I'll keep bringing detailed updates on Nicolandria and all your favorite Love Island couples. You don't want to miss what happens next because massive things are coming soon. Engagement announcements, possibly a house purchase, definitely more major brand deals, and probably a whole lot more content that proves all the doubters wrong.
The haters genuinely need to ask themselves one real question. What are you actually getting out of this negativity? Does it make you feel better about your own life to try to tear down two people who are clearly happy and successful? Does it validate something missing in your own life to actively root for their failure? Because from where everyone else is standing, Nic and Olandria are winning at literally everything. They're happy, they're thriving individually and together, they're in love, and they're building something beautiful that's going to last. No amount of negative comments or bitter posts or hateful tweets is going to change that reality even slightly. They're going to keep securing major brand deals, they're going to keep showing up at events together looking amazing, and they're eventually going to get engaged and married and build the family they both clearly want. Your negativity won't stop any of that from happening. It just makes you look miserable to everyone watching.
For everyone else, the real, genuine supporters who have been rooting for Nic and Olandria from day one when they coupled up in the villa, keep that exact energy going strong. Support their content, engage with their individual projects, celebrate their wins loudly. When Olandria drops new partnerships with NYX or Vaseline or Microsoft or Aveeno, support it genuinely. When Peacock announces Greekfest tours or DJ gigs, show up if you're anywhere in the area, share his music, help him build that career. When they do couple promotions like the Sweetgreen salad or DoorDash ads, try them out. Share your experience. Keep the engagement numbers high. That's how you actually support people you claim to love. Not just with words and comments, but with real action that matters. The beautiful thing about where Nic and Olandria is right now is that this is genuinely just the beginning of their story.
They're only a few months out of Love Island USA Season 7, and they've already accomplished more than most reality TV couples accomplish in years. Imagine where they'll be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now when they're married with kids. If they're already calling each other partner, already talking seriously about houses and marriage and children, already building wildly successful individual careers while maintaining a strong, healthy relationship, the sky is literally the limit for what they can achieve together.
They're going to be that couple that people point to as the perfect example of how to do it right, how to leave a dating show and actually build a real life together instead of it falling apart immediately, how to balance individual success with relationship goals without sacrificing either one, how to ignore the noise and the critics and focus only on what actually matters, how to prove that love from reality TV can be genuine and lasting if both people are committed. And when that engagement announcement eventually comes, and you know with absolute certainty it's coming, the internet is going to absolutely break. Fans are going to lose their minds in the best way possible. The same people hating right now are going to be in the comments pretending they supported them all along. That's how it always goes. But the real ones, the people who have been here supporting them through all the criticism and doubt, they're going to celebrate like it's their own engagement. Because that's what real community does.
The interracial relationship hate, the complaints about them doing promotions together, the false narrative that Olandria doesn't have her own brand and identity, all of it has been thoroughly disproven time and time again. But even if it hadn't been, it still wouldn't matter at all. Because at the end of the day, Nic and Olandria are the ones actually living their lives, making their own choices, and building their future together. They're not doing any of it for public approval or validation. They're doing it because they found something real and authentic in a fake environment, and they're committed to nurturing it and protecting it and growing it into something that lasts forever. That's genuinely admirable. That's aspirational. That's exactly what love is supposed to look like when it's real and healthy and built on the right foundation. So here's what you need to take away from all of this. Nicolandria isn't just surviving at the post-Love Island reality check, they're absolutely thriving in every possible way. Nic calling Olandria his partner is genuinely significant because it shows long-term commitment and serious intentions. Their brand deal success, both individually and together, proves definitively that second place doesn't mean second best in any way. The criticism they face, especially regarding their interracial relationship, says infinitely more about the critics than it does about them.
And everything they're doing right now, from the way they talk about their future to the strategic moves they're making in their careers, points to a couple that's building something permanent and unshakable. They dated on a show called Love Island. They came in second place to another couple, but they're about to show everyone what it really means to win at love and life after reality TV ends. The partner era has officially begun, and if you're not on board yet, you're going to want to be, because Nicolandria is just getting started, and what comes next is going to be even better than what we've already witnessed. Keep supporting them genuinely, keep celebrating their wins loudly, and get ready for the engagement announcement that's inevitably coming sooner than later. This is the love story that people said wouldn't last, that critics claimed was just for show, and that's proving everyone wrong, one brand deal and one partner introduction at a time. They're rewriting the rules for what post-reality TV success looks like, and we're all here for it.